Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now May 10th of 2025, and given that Netflix and the whole Meghan Markle situation is still going on to this very day, we know that this June they will be actually doing some additional reshoots, some other shooting for episodes for Season 2, as they like to call it. In reality, it's nothing more than a Season 1 Part 2. But when focusing here on Meghan Markle, we know that she is beginning to spiral out of control. She is already in pure panic mode, based on how the fact that there are a lot of studios out there, a lot of book deal companies, and other factors contributing to her financial collapse. We'll have a lot more to talk about exactly what's going on here in specifics. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new, and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. So one thing about Meghan Markle is that, yes, we know that she is doing everything in her power to remain in the spotlight / the limelight, whatever have you. And she's also trying to keep her status, right? She's desperate to actually latch on to being a quote-unquote actress, alright? She doesn't want that to go away. She wants to remain on television, and, well, it's just not working out for her in the end. But this is the thing, is that we already know that Meghan Markle is trying to essentially really kind of prolong the entire process of getting more deals, getting more opportunities, receiving all of these Hollywood / film industry deals, whether it's with, a movie or a television program, whatever it may be. She's just not really having any luck, and this is all for valid reasons. Nobody likes this woman. She's very much a narcissistic, greedy, self-absorbed, lying individual, and that's just a couple of ways to describe her. Very much insufferable, I must add. But what's interesting about this is that with the Meghan Markle backlash only getting worse, especially after how she created a huge division within Netflix HQ between the board, the executives, and CEO Greg Peters, one significant development going on now involves more to do with Meghan Markle's recent behavior, after more studios decided to turn her down as her financial collapse continues surrounding her career. Now, it turns out that Meghan Markle has been in negotiations with over 5 book deal companies over the course of the last 4 months to land a couple of book deals to describe, get this, secrets about her life and never before told stories. These deals would have garnered tens of millions of dollars altogether when all factored in. However, after it turns out that they all just recently ditched Meghan Markle's negotiations and no longer want anything to do with her, or nothing to actually hear from her anymore, essentially, after these companies recently learned about the drama that she created over at Netflix. However, it gets even worse than that. Not only did this happen, but also she was shot down by other major Hollywood studios to make some major cameos in upcoming comedy films. Of course, those, one of which, for example, was Universal Studios, for example, that was going to provide her a large cameo role in an untitled comedy film that would have landed her $5 million just to have a short role in this film. Now, Meghan is reportedly panicking as the walls are closing in, where she can't obtain more income and cash flow beyond her, of course, deal with Netflix that is planned to end by this September. And beyond that, practically nothing is on the horizon for her so far except Amazon, who is in negotiation with her to create a reality TV show. This is also resulting in Meghan Markle to focus more on spending her own money to create several podcasts and setups that will focus on different categories as a last resort. Now, Markle's financial situation is best described to be going out of control when she is now officially universally rejected in Hollywood and the entire film industry at that, with little to no studios showing any interest in her starring in their films, regardless of pressuring them to put her in some of those. Now, this is what's interesting, is the fact that Meghan Markle is so frazzled by the entire situation. She is so shocked and frightened about the status that she's in right now, about how basically nobody wants to deal with her anymore, to the point that she's actually going to use her own money to actually waste on podcasts to reach out to a crowd, to reach out to an audience, or to potential new fans or new people that want to actually listen in. It's not going to work, and this is just pure desperation at this point. It's all like a survival instinct when it comes to her career at this point. That's basically what it really all boils down to. She will do anything, and I mean anything, to remain in the limelight, right? So already Markle blamed misogyny and sexism on those studios and book deal companies for rejecting her altogether, and this is said to only be the beginning for Markle resisting against Hollywood. She is said to be so desperate to actually increase her wealth status and her time in the limelight. In addition to all of this, however, Markle is also planning to make another opening statement about her book deals going bad, and is planning to share the specifics down to a T on all of that. Again, I think that this is nothing more than Meghan Markle trying to really just get a lot of attention as much as possible, whether it's bad or good at this point. She doesn't care. I think that's what the whole point is, right? At this honest, point that we are now in May, alright, like approaching the middle point of May, she wants to just stay on camera, even if it's bad press or good press, right? So, the fact that no book deal companies want her, a lot, like radio studio companies want to actually have conversations with her, no film industry, productions or studios, whatever it may be, they don't want to offer her television roles, they don't want to offer her movie roles, whether it's cameos or short roles or whatever it may be. Meghan Markle is going down the drain, and this whole financial situation for herself as an actress is just going down in flames at this point. So, in conclusion, this is only getting worse as time goes by for Meghan Markle. Between all the studios that previously had plans with her, that have now rejected her outright, she lost a whopping, get this, when you factor in everything altogether, $200 million worth of film, TV show appearances, radio appearances, and even book deals altogether, showing how big of an impact her Netflix series had on her career, negatively speaking. This is said to be why not just her, but her entire team was going off the rails, of course, just a couple of days ago to fix the entire issue. And again, we're seeing a similar pattern, not quite as bad as Meghan Markle, not even close, but a similar pattern happening with Katy Perry and her Lifetimes tour, especially after how she acted the way that she did with the space flight. We're seeing similar patterns. People are walking away. Even Meghan Markle's loyalists are walking away. People that actually used to like Meghan Markle are now beginning to really wake up based on how narcissistic, phony, and just fake she truly is, and how it just doesn't work with people, right? It just does not resonate with anybody that actually listens to her or watches her. And I think that you're seeing a very rapid turn of the tide when it comes to how many people know Meghan Markle, how many actually know what Meghan Markle's up to. More and more people are beginning to learn who she really is. It's becoming more widespread at this point because she was in the mainstream media. We all have to remember this. She was in the mainstream media getting mocked based on her With Love Meghan series and how phony it truly was. There were so many parodies that came after that, and there are other parodies that are in the works right now as we speak, even by South Park Studios and Paramount, to really put her on full blast yet again, because they already did this once. They're going to do it again. So again, I would love to hear what everyone has to say about the whole Markle financial status situation when it comes down to her acting career, and just how it is pretty much non-existent now. It's going nowhere for her, and that's, I think, why she's crying on camera lately, why she's tearing up on podcasts that she's joining, and all this other nonsense. But overall, I would like to hear what you all have to say about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.